looking at stuff with fresh insights. One of the things that I found when I speak with clients is that they feel, but we talk to our consumers all the time. We're looking at consumer reviews all the time. There's nothing about our consumers we don't already know. Why do you need to do this research? We've been in business for so long. Or, I was working with a wealth investment platform, and they were looking to hire wealth advisors. And so they were actually interviewing almost 20 to 30 wealth advisors every day. And yet trying to figure out what's the right profile of wealth advisors that we'd like on board. And they actually agreed to doing a consumer research to figure out what goes on inside the minds of wealth advisors and why would somebody want to join us. At the end of the research, they admitted that we've learned so much, so many new things that we never did realize, despite actually sitting in front of them and talking to them day in and day out, because they're doing interviews every day. So one of my big questions to you as a researcher, is do you find your clients actually telling you, but we've spoken to a lot of our consumers. We've been in business for so long. We know this category really well. We know how people buy baby food, or we know how women buy cosmetics, what works, what doesn't work. We don't really need research to figure this. We just need to get to the strategy very quickly.
Well, I have it all the time, and this is my one reason, like why the research is cut off during COVID, because they think we have so much research, let's just use what we have because we know everything. And I always respond to this: if you know everything, how come you're not king of the jungle? How come you're not the best in what you do? Like, if you know it so well, I don't see it on your market shares. And even if you're the leader, like for me, the leader is somebody who has 90%. Like then you can say, well, I know everything. So you just but most of the time, this is not what's happening. People save in a very not smart way, because I understand saving. I also believe that we should save money, because in the end of the day, companies cost us to earn money. I understand that. But we need to do it in a very smart way and to know where to save or not to save. Just because you talk, we train people how to talk. I was trained in interview for 5 years doing my psychology, and then I have so many classes about interviewing and diagnosis. So I'm trained diagnosed, so I can draw a conclusion about people mental health, which is very difficult because it's on the subtle clues. So I was trained how to talk, to get subtle hints, so I can move my hypothesis forward. And clients do not train. Every time they think they're good in this, and every time we do workshops, because now mainly, especially now, I do mainly workshops. And the basic exercise about listening and asking questions, and they fail. And I have to tell you, 90% of the time after strategic workshops, I always, 90% that I always follow up with the one-day workshops about listening and asking questions. Because it's a competence. You need to be trained how to do well. Every time I do 3 days workshop, and we have an exercise when I actually get them people to talk to, and then draw a conclusion, and then they have to present it in front of me with the conclusion what to do. It's always the biggest failure, always.
Right.
And nothing also, like, and I don't blame them, because I would never be able to do like good market plan, because I'm not qualified to do this. It's not my job. I don't have competence to do this. So I don't think they should have competence to do this. But if they do research, if they do question, if they want to draw conclusions, they have to have this competence. So either they have to train. This is another thing that we do for the last 2 years very often. We train people inside the company to create the inner research department. So at least if you decided to do it, train them with the best possible people that they actually trained. Just because you know how to speak does not mean you know how to ask questions. Just because you have ears does not know you know how to listen. Just because you have brain does not know you can draw conclusions. It has to be trained. So it's very, very, very often happens what you're saying. And it's very difficult sometimes to get through this, and like you need actually to prove them and to show that it's something different. You need to have very often fresh eyes. and you need somebody who sees from different perspective. You need not to feel attached to us, you know. When we do training with the clients, it's where we have observation, which is basic technique in ethnography. And sometimes it's very simple way how we start with the clients. For example, they need to be near the shelf for the product and competition, and just observe, and that's it. And draw conclusions of observation and listening, nothing more. And then second step, the question to what to ask. And you know, they can't handle this. When somebody is doing this, like, why are you choosing this? No, it's not the best. This is the best. And like, and I understand them. If you work on the packaging for like last 3 months, you feel pain. It's like, because it has less sugar. Did you read this? It does not have less sugar. This is what it says. Like, why did not compare? So they almost very often yelling at these poor people, you know? And this is not how it works. So you just need to be patient. I understand them, because I probably would yell too if that would be my thing. Like, I'm very passionate about what I do. So I understand that they're passionate. It's less sleepless nights. And so I understand that. But that's the reason why we're not born as humans to know and to do everything by themselves. It's good to have people who do different jobs so you can do your job the best possible way. I'm not the best CEO. I don't know how to earn millions on running corporation, but somebody is. And in order for him to do his job the best, he needs to hire me so I can deliver him everything he needs so he can earn this millions. But we need to work together. If he's going to start doing what I'm doing, he's not going to do as well as he.